The project started in 1991.
So you're using traffic models? What I'm trying to figure out is what public participation took place in 1991?
They had public hearings in 1997, 98, I believe it was.
Okay, so 10 years ago.
Yes, ma'am.
And what kind of modeling has been done that we could see that would warrant these kinds of, I mean, if you want to talk, I'm asking for what your background information that informs this project specifically.
Sure.
And also what those plans were 10 years ago.
Yes, they did a traffic corridor study back when this project started. The fact that we are widening the road so that it can take 3 lanes does not necessarily mean that it has to be that way. So, I mean, if the community is opposed, they can make that. Well, they can recommend to the City of New Orleans Department of Public Works that they change the striping plan to only allow 2 lanes.
That's what we're really concerned with, is that widening. We want Earhart to stay 4 lanes. We don't want the bottleneck to be moved right up to our neighborhood. We'd much rather keep it that in Earhart. There are no streets going to Earhart. There's exit ramps. So if there's a bottleneck there, it's much less of a problem for pedestrians than if it's moved up to Carrollton.
You can make a request to the Department of Public Works. That's not something that I can change as the program manager for this project, but it is something that a community group can ask the city to revisit and provide what you think are reasons that they should. And there is no reason that it can't be reconsidered. There's still time to reconsider it. And as for the widening of the road, the difference between the 4 lanes with 2 parking lanes and the 3 lanes is a total of 2 feet.
Right. I know that the road's not going to get any wider, but you're adding 2 more lanes.
And that's why I said what I would suggest is, because the plans don't need to change to accomplish what you all are asking. If that is something that the community wants to request, then they should make the request directly to the Department of Public Works, and I would copy your council person.
What is it that causes anyone to believe that we need 3 lanes in each direction on Earhart?
As I said, there was a traffic study done back when the project was commissioned, and that's why I said if you all feel like maybe that needs to be revisited, since it's probably 15 to 16 years old,
Okay.
then that would be the request. That's why I'm suggesting that you request that.
Was there a specific problem that making it 3 lanes each direction, 6 lanes across, was that you were trying to solve?
The problem was getting traffic from Earhart, the Earhart Expressway, to Carrollton Avenue.
So what you've effectively done in the stretch of Earhart that is being widened to 6 lanes is you are eating up, I'm looking at your plans, you are eating up the neutral ground at every turn corner to provide 3 lanes across as you go to Jefferson Parish, plus a 4th turning lane at every corner, making every intersection that allows turn off of Earhart into Orleans Parish a total of 4 lanes on one side, 3 lanes on the other. That's a 7-lane highway.
Well, again, as I said, if the community feels that the plans don't represent their needs of today, they can request that be revisited.
So in other words, now you got these people here who are very much concerned now because you come into my neighborhood. I'm just hearing about it. I'm here today, and I don't like it. Okay? And see, when every time a question is asked to you, and you say, well, take it over to Public Works. That's fine. Are you Public Works?
Yes,
I don't hear you saying anything.
I know that nothing is perfect, that we cannot satisfy one group of people and the other group may have different point of view, but we try our best to provide a safety for the citizen. That's our plan.
I noticed that there are unfinished ramps that I assume were once intended to connect to Airline, to divert some traffic to Airline perhaps, or perhaps to Jefferson Highway. And why aren't those alleviations being considered rather than this one? It seems to me that might be less expensive
I
too.
can answer your question on that. There is a ramp that exits from the Earhart Expressway that will be taken directly to Claiborne Avenue.
And why not a connection to Airline, which would also alleviate the necessity of traffic going on Carrollton?
They've been trying to get that interchange to Airline. That's a very difficult project because of the railroad tracks and a lot of other things that are in that neighborhood.
So when a railroad doesn't want it, you don't do it. But if a neighborhood doesn't want it, you do it.
Anyone, if this organization wants to try and take on Amtrak, please, I would love you to do it because I ran
Amtrak doesn't own those right-of-ways.
Yes, Amtrak leases and has complete control over the tracks from the point Kansas City Southern ends into the city by agreement with the city. And it's,
I just moved right off of Earhart. And in the morning I go sit out and drink my coffee. That's a block off Earhart. And I mean the traffic comes right on through there, trying to get to Claiborne.
right. Yeah, and
Carrollton. Now, I've taken a walk to the store one morning and I could not cross the street. I literally had to put my hand up there and cross the street because the cars would not stop. They blocked the intersection. So, okay, you're talking about bringing all this in, but what about the pedestrians that live around there? That need
The medians are not wide enough for you to make turns. Your car is out in the middle of Earhart. Your cars have to stop because you're blocking traffic because they're not wide enough to make a turn. And you're going to make it smaller. We need wider so you can turn and have a pause length so you're not taking your life in your hand when you make that turn.
I would be talking to a lot of some police associations to get some policemen out here to enforce no left turns, no right turns, speeding. I mean, that's what it sounds like. And I hate to say it that way because I have done a lot of projects where we've improved the roadway bed, and the first thing that the person that I was doing the work for did was when they opened the roadway, they put policemen out there to make sure that people got down to the speed limit. And I've seen, because you get that new roadway bed, it's designed to allow people a smooth ride, and they just go really fast. And it's a sad part of trying to improve things so they don't rip their cars up, but by doing so, you let them go faster. By leaving the road in poor repair, they have to slow down.
The admitted that the ease of traffic on Carrollton was primarily to help the Jefferson Parish residents coming into Orleans Parish, but at the same time, plans being made by Jefferson Parish residents are not discussed with residents of Orleans Parish, including the one that you just mentioned, the off-ramp from Airline or wherever it's coming from. I mean, is it the nature of your business to allow one parish to govern the decisions in another?
It's not one parish governing another parish. It is done by a regional planning commission. It is representation from all.
Well, then I think what we're all saying to you here is there is a level of dissatisfaction and a lack of understanding of the premise. There are very unhappy residents of the area that covers the intersection of Earhart and Carrollton that we would like for you to reconsider the design decisions that were based on traffic patterns that were studied and 10, 15 years ago and relook at it and to the satisfaction of the current residents and groups that are active.